In the United States, one man diagnosed in Dallas and now concerned that others have been contaminated. Our political editor, Craig Patrick, joining us. Craig, it's a little like closing the barn door after the horse gets out, but now there are certain Congressman Alan Grayson specifically wants to ban travel to Ebola-infected countries. Is that a feasibility? Could that actually happen?
Well, it could. The CDC does not want to do that. In fact, the director said if you do that, you isolate countries in West Africa, the outbreak grows much worse over time and would pose a greater threat to the United States down the road. But while Alan Grayson has been saying this for months, you have others now in Congress who are also beginning to question our travel policy. And if not an outright ban, you have Alan Grayson to the left, Ted Cruz from the right, now calling on the FAA to do everything it possibly can to restrict travel and make sure that more people infected with Ebola do not fly into this country.
It did seem fairly easy for this the man from Dallas to get out of Liberia and here to the United States. Just had to fill out a questionnaire that he essentially, it sounds like he lied on. Are they trying to maybe ramp up the restrictions on how you can travel in and out?
Well, the president has said we've already done this, and he assured us we didn't have to worry about something like this happening, someone slipping through the cracks, and yet they did. And if you think about it, look, in Liberia, the healthcare system is swamped. People wanting treatment may try to lie on travel papers. They could even suppress or mask their symptoms, take a couple of ibuprofen, for example, and bring down their temperature. They could, in fact, and we've seen in at least one case, you can evade screening, and that's why we're hearing more and more chatter in Congress, and you have this debate between sealing things off to protect Americans and yet keeping things open so we can continue to help to contain the outbreak so it doesn't grow worse.
And finally, Craig, I would imagine there's great desire to not be treated in Liberia and great desire to get to the United States and be treated here. You could see why people would do everything they can to try and mask their symptoms or lie and make their way here to the U.S.
Well, look, you have a case here of an individual who may well be prosecuted back in his home country, but if that's the choice you're making, being prosecuted later and living to be prosecuted, that's something, or dying, in fact, that's part of the calculus, and that's something the White House, the CDC, and Congress will have to consider, certainly in the weeks, if not